not able to accomplish this, we're gonna randomly eliminate 25 of you. Good luck.
Oh my gosh, I don't want to do the 25 random.
Wait, why would you ever volunteer to be one of the 10 to leave? I guess if you're 100 years old.
Somebody to leave. I'm not leaving.
If you're
This is like a fucked social experiment. I don't think it's that fucked. I think it's like ultimately like it's somewhat interesting, but like, have you seen Survivor? Survivor's a fucked social experiment. That Survivor that shit's fucked. Especially old school Survivor. This is fucking tame. This is like a little baby show compared to that shit. Old Survivor, there's a season of Survivor. If you ask Survivor fans, you know what they call it? They go, yeah, that was the race season where they split up by race. Yeah, that was one of their weirder ones. There's a damn season of Survivor. Somebody got outed, right? It was like a gay person who got outed, I think. It's crazy what happens in that show.
past retirement age, you
It was a trans person. It was a trans person got outed on Survivor. And then the person who outed them was like, "Oh, so I didn't know. I wasn't freaking transphobic, man. This is crazy." And then like went on Twitter and was like very transphobic. But yeah, that's Survivor goes crazy.
gotta go. If you are not above the age of 12, you gotta go.
Already a minute's gone by and no one's left.
7 people leave with me, I'll go out.
Okay, I like that. Whipping some votes.
I cannot be kicked out this soon. Please, guys.
Kids, you can come out.
You gonna take one for the team?
I can't do it. I came here for the long haul.
Yo, do it for the greater good.
53, go.
Are you gonna get out? I'll buy you Robux. I promise.
That's so sick. Here's what I would do. If I was in this cube, I would say, hey, 10 people need to go. There's 100 ages here. Let's get one person from every age bracket. So 1 to 10-year-old, 1 10 to 20-year-old. You know what I mean? That seems fair to me. One representative from each age group, kick them out, and then, you know, because it's kind of tough to just say 10 kids should leave. Your kids, fuck you. It doesn't, I don't think that works, you know? That's the thing about me. I'm so fair. I'm so fair.
We have one! We have one!
And even though 89 decided to take one for the team, we still need 8 more people.
Nobody? No takers? Not to be rude, but like all the older people should leave. They got like retirement money. I'm in college and they're struggling.
Dude, the ageism is ripe. Kids got to go. Too young, too dumb. Old people got to go. They got retirement money.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You all were unfortunately not able to come to an agreement, which means a random group of 25 contestants will now be eliminated. And to ensure it's random, we're using this machine to pick the contestants we're going to eliminate one by one. Chandler, grab a ping pong ball. Our
Thank you, the 5 gift, Andre.
first elimination is number 18.
That sucks.
That's tough.
The next elimination is 85. Remember, you guys chose this. 82. Oh. Number 80.
I'm sorry, boss.
Okay. 99. Don't worry, we only have 19 more balls to go.
25 is so many.
12. 24. 22. 19.
Come on, 28. Come on, 28.
29.
Saves.
Sorry, son.
And our final elimination. It was 13.
Lucky number
Chandler,
13.
Look at all the people you eliminated.
I'm sorry.
We just lost 25 people.
Grateful that it's not me though.
Still here, but I don't know if I feel good about it.
Honestly, I think it's actually better for you, right? Like you'd rather 25 people leave and then just have that lucky 3/4 chance of staying. It just increases your chances of winning.
Number that came out. Is that going to be me? Is that going to be me? Am I going home today?
67 of you remain.
Look at the bald edit.
We just lost 25 people.
Grateful that it's not me though.
Still here, but I don't know if I feel.
Like it was a samurai sword. Nippon Damascus steel. That's crazy. That's correct. That's disrespectful.
Feel good about it. Every number that came out. Is that going to be me? Is that going to be me? Am I going home today?
67 of you remain. Congratulations. And as always, once someone is eliminated, we obviously destroy their cube. And after the onslaught from the last challenge, I thought I'd give them some time to recover. And so I let them hang out in their cubes for a bit, which ended up being a challenge of its own.
This setup is beautiful. Like this not the setup, the set.
Hey, if you don't want to spend the night, all you got to do is just step out of this cube.
That's what I'm gonna do.
Because by the time day 2 started, so many people had been eliminated, we were already down to 55 contestants remaining. We're gonna start the new day by seeing if you can all unanimously agree on who should win this $250,000. If all of you can agree on the same person, they instantly win the $250,000. But if only one of you vote for someone different, we're gonna do a challenge and eliminate a bunch of you. Who do you think should win the 250 grand?
14.
Who do you think should win the 250 grand?
11.
All right, well,
That's sweet. That's really sweet. They voted for you. That was cute.
it's already ruined. You all could not unanimously agree on who should win that money, so we have to do a challenge. Each row now has to decide on a captain, and that captain will then represent all the contestants in their row for the next challenge. Please make sure you trust whoever you pick. It will all make sense, but it's going to be very ruthless. For the next 15 minutes, each row tried to decide who their captain was going to be.
Do you want to be the captain?
If you don't want to,
As long as you choose to not sacrifice us.
I will not get y'all out.
What age do you want to represent your row?
30.
30.
30.
We got it!
Where's
Hey, do one of
28
y'all
at?
volunteer?
I'll volunteer.
64.
I don't trust that fucker.
I'm okay with 64.
Who in your row do you want to be captain?
Me. I came in a fight for this thing, and I'm gonna win it.
Dude, 100 is crazy. 100's crazy. 100? That's so beast. He's still in? 100 years old, was it 1924? That's crazy. 1924. Bro is 21. If you are 21 years or younger, this guy was your age when World War II ended. When it ended. That's crazy.
All right, your captains have been chosen. This is where things get interesting and a little cutthroat. We're gonna offer money, and if any of you captains take the money we offer,
He might have served. He's definitely serving.
you and your entire row are completely eliminated. My first offer is $1,000.
Stay tough, 42.
I ain't going nowhere. I'm not eliminating my row for $1,000.
I'm not moving.
14, please don't.
Y'all are safe. I'm not doing it.
Offer number 2, $5,000.
Don't do it.
If one of you step out, eliminate your entire row, I will give you this $5,000.
No, 42.
Don't eliminate us, 42.
Don't expect me to go anywhere for a while.
Don't do it, 30.
I just hope my wife agrees with whatever decision I make.
Our next offer is $10,000.
Don't do it.
10 grand isn't worth hurting these people.
Dude, this 14-year-old's morals are insane. This is he's got principles. Cuz like the money is the most valuable for the 14-year-old for sure. Are you kidding me? You throw $10,000 into a goddamn index fund at 14, you're doing pretty fucking good at 40. Yeah, that's not bad. You know, I get why the 100-year-old's not stepping out. I don't think 10K is really it's changing his life.
I like them a lot more than 10 grand.
20 grand. We're going until one of you step out.
That ain't enough. That ain't enough.
30's gonna buckle. I can see it in his eyes.
We're now at $50,000. At this point, all the captains have been holding strong. But it was clear once we had $50,000 on the line, some of the captains
30
were having a
buckles.
harder time than others.
Don't do it, 42.
All right, everybody, let's really have some fun. The next offer is, that puts us at 80, that puts us at 90. We're not done. Put it up there. The new offer is $100,000 for the
Dude, you couldn't catch me running out of the cube faster. Holy shit. Guys, I have known you for all of about 6 hours. I'm sorry. I don't care if I'm your captain. I am out. 100 bands? And I don't have to do anything else? As opposed to keeping like a 1 in 50 chance of winning 250K? The math doesn't add up. It doesn't add up. So I'm gone. If that 14-year-old doesn't get out, fuck his principles. Bro, that is your college tuition.
the first captain to step out of their cube. 14,
14,
30,
get out of the cube.
42,
Get out of the cube, bro. There's like 3 people in your group. The 11-year-old will be fine.
64 or Mr. 100. I just need one of you 42, 64 or Mr.
He's not getting out. Jimmy could have said, hey, actually, you just get the $250,000 if you step out now. And he's like, nah, I'm chilling.
100. I just need one of you 5 to step out so I can make you rich.
No, 30.
We're really starting to feel the pressure now.
Get out!
42! Dude, I'm gonna be hated on so bad.
Oh, I see 30 about to crack over
30
there.
should get out.
Don't move.
You got a wife, bro. That's a down payment on a house.
Don't you dare!
Yup.
Oh, he's doing it.
Yup.
I'm doing it. I'm sorry.
Are you serious? 30? What the heck? I'm shocked.
Shame on you! Shame on you!
I start to chat. You know, let's get that trending. Hashtag shame on you.
That's crazy.
30 has stepped out. All of the 20s and all of the 30s are now eliminated.
What's crazy is that's like the toughest competition in a challenge like this. 20 to 40-year-olds, like that is the healthiest. That's going to be like the most probably physically and mentally acute. Like that's an insane group to cut out. You're stuck with 50 plus in 11 and 12. Like that's crazy.
You guys should have picked a better.
14-year-old's kind of the GOAT though. That's insane. That is insane. But I guess that when you're 14, because like here's what I would think. It's like, man, because like realistically, none of the captains are going to be the ones who win. Or there's a very small chance they're the ones who win. The 250K. They're going to leave with nothing. This 14-year-old, I'm assuming, did not win. I could be wrong. He missed out on 100K. But I don't think it means anything to him. The 30-year-old, though, if you miss out on 100K, dude.
Better team captain.
That's tough.
I can't look. I gotta think of my son.
You lied, 30.
This line right here. This is the line that's going to make it all the way to the end.
Everyone in the 20s, you can leave. Everyone in the 30s, you're all eliminated. I'm sorry.
Wow.
What's going through your head right now?
We got screwed.
I kept thinking, like, that sets my kid up for a long, long time.
Because of how much betrayal has been shown so far in this video, the 40s made an alliance to try to keep any of them from getting out, no matter what.
40 Alliance hung together. There's 4 of us.
It's that time again. Cast up your votes and see if you can all decide on a winner. And like usual, they couldn't agree. So,
Dude, I would just vote the 100 for sure. I'd like, give this to, how sick would it be if a 100-year-old won?
do a challenge and eliminate some more people. I'll be right back. The next challenge involves a spinning wheel that has all of the remaining contestants' ages on it. So go ahead, Chandler, spin it. Currently, there are 36 of you remaining, and we're gonna spin the wheel until we eliminate 16 of you with this challenge, bringing our total down to the final 20. All right, 67, I'm coming to your cube. And while I'm walking over to his cube, Chandler, spin it again. That wheel is going to land on another person's age. And when it does, you're going to have to decide whether or not to eliminate them.
55.
The challenge is simple. 67, you can choose if 55 is eliminated or stays in the challenge.
Before you decide, it's only fair that 55 gets to say his piece.
Thank you, everybody. It's been a great time. Good luck, guys.
You don't want to ask to kindly not be eliminated or anything?
No, because if I was in the same position, I'd do the same thing.
I mean, he's giving you a pass to eliminate him.
Dude, that's reverse psychology. That's actually 5-head reverse psychology. That's actually smart as shit. That's actually smart as shit. He didn't give up. He's just like, hey, I would do it. He's basically saying, I bet you've already made this mental decision, so just fucking do it. I bet you're one of those I bet you want to eliminate me, so just do it. And then the guy might be like, you know what? No, I don't actually want to do it.
Choice.
Wow. Okay.
Somebody got to go.
So is that saying you want to eliminate him?
Yes.
Okay, never mind. He fucked it. Idiot. Should have argued a bit more.
Okay, the decision is final then.
All right.
I'm sorry, boss.
Thank you, guys.
Chandler, spin the wheel.
I mean, he gave me the leeway to let him go.
That was an easy first one. Surely they'll all go that well. Oh, 47. Now, we're going to give her a chance to talk to you before you make a decision.
Okay, I'm almost positive this wheel was really annoying because I'm sure they landed on the Feastables thing several times. And then, like, I know it's an advert, but, like, they just have to spin again. Like, that must have been a pain.
Have a peace of mind. I would love to stay. I don't want to go.
What is your decision?
She'll stay.
You survived.
And because she did not get eliminated, she now decides who stays and who goes. Technically, you could eliminate the next 15 people and be safe. No risk of elimination, but that would be very cruel.
It would be.
43.
Would love to stay on
40
our little
alliance.
team, but it's ultimately up to you.
We're staying together. 43 is
40
staying.
strong.
The 40s Alliance was determined to hold strong.
You know what this means, right? Now you are in charge.
You're one lucky person. Chandler, spin the wheel.
I hope a 40-year-old don't win. It's going to be a kid.
66.
All right. Right over there.
43. I know it's a hard decision for you, but I'd like to stay.
Oh, that's gonna make me cry.
If you let her stay, she gets control.
Dude, a movie villain could not have delivered that line better. Mads Mikkelsen would struggle to deliver that line more menacingly.
Cry.
If you let her stay, she gets control.
Holy shit. That was actually devil on shoulder.
It's up to you.
66, you are so sweet, and it's been a pleasure getting to know you. Unfortunately, in this game, we're trying to stick together and.
Oh my God.
But, unfortunately, you're eliminated.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. It's okay. Thank you.
Thank you for coming out, 66. Oh, brutal.
Dude, he's cartoonish. He's knocking. He's gonna say, great job. Keep it going.
I'm so proud of you.
Oh my God, oh my God, holy shit. I just felt my balls shrivel into my body.
With 42's influence over 43,
We got to keep control or we'll be eliminated.
We're at war.
I know.
nobody outside the 40s was safe. 57.
I mean, you don't even know 57.
57, you're eliminated.
40s, watch out for the 50s because they'll come back after you.
65.
Oh, that's me. It's the game, and I'm sorry.
Oh my God. It actually feels like Emperor Palpatine, and this feels like the turn of Vader.
You've also been eliminated.
Do it. She just took 65 out of the game. And I know it's breaking her heart. I know it is, but we cannot lose control.
43 knows that if she stops eliminating people and gives up control of the wheel, the next person could potentially eliminate her. Oh, that's a big one. This means a lot to Gio. Don't take this decision lightly.
Is that 11?
Gio.
We're not even talking about a teenager. We're talking about 11. Not a teen, not a 20, not a 50, an 11-year-old. I would have voted him yesterday.
Don't cry yet. It's not over. I want you to listen to me very carefully. The next few seconds determine a lot. I'm gonna hand you this mic, and it's up to you to convince that person not to eliminate. You understand?
You are a kind person. And you are kind enough to not eliminate me.
Oh, wow.
Save Gio! Save Gio!
The great. Grandmas are so sweet. Oh my God, I love the grandmas.
Don't do it. Now's not the time to develop a heart.
Oh my God. Holy shit. Holy shit. What did he watch before this? What did he watch? My God. This guy's crazy. He's a psychopath.
Okay.
Okay. Gio, I admire you so much.
Oh,
you are
no.
literally the coolest 11-year-old I've
no.
ever seen. You've got tons of energy and spunk, and your future is super bright.
Pause. Don't like when people use the word spunk.
But unfortunately, your time here is over. I'm so sorry.
Everyone was absolutely
I've always
speechless.
hated that word.
Everyone, round of applause. I felt so bad about this elimination that I actually had age 11 come up and help me on stage.
Give it up for Gio.
At this point, everyone outside of the 40s knew they were in big trouble.
She's gonna eliminate everybody.
If you're not on 40, you're gone.
Once again, I don't think it's safe for our side at all.
17.
17. Unfortunately, you are eliminated.
Thanks. Womp womp.
The 16-year-old.
I have a great grandmother. She's not doing too good health-wise.
Dude, that's what I would do. Oh, man, I would make up shit, too. I'd bring my dad back from the dead in this story just to say he's about to die if I don't win this money. I don't know. I would hurt her. At least if I go, I want her to feel like shit for the rest of her life.
I'm so sorry, but you're also eliminated 16.
Wow. I am so proud of you. I'm so proud of you.
Dude, it makes me recoil.
Believe it or not, for some reason, the wheel just kept missing the 40. Alliance. 52.
You're eliminated.
Oh my God. Until this spin. And now, the hardest decision of the challenge. Are you gonna eliminate yourself?
I think I'm gonna keep spinning, Jimmy.
Okay, give us another spin.
You've also been eliminated.
Ooh.
Unfortunately, you are eliminated.
Dude, that was a literal veteran.
Okay, give us another spin.
You've also been eliminated.
Ooh.
No, it's just an old guy with a funny hat. Never mind. It's a fishing hat. I'm sorry. Yeah, no, it's fine. Carry on.
Ooh.
Unfortunately, you are eliminated.
All right, 75.
Brutal.
62.
See ya. You ain't gotta say nothing. Bye.
62. You don't want to at least try to convince her?
Nope. Bye.
Hey, 62, I just want to let you know I'm going to miss your snoring.
What'd you say, villain?
I said I'm going to miss your snoring.
I'm no mad at you, 43. Now I start feeling your pain, but you just cruel.
I miss you already.
Bye, y'all.
Without even making 43 decide, 62 left her cube. And with only one elimination left, let's see who their next victim is going to be. All right, it landed on Feastables. That means all of you get the world's best chocolate.
No, crunch. That's my favorite.
Oh, crunch. Thank you, Jim.
No problem. Even though he's eliminated, we'll still honor him. Make sure you go to Walmart and try our brand new formula. Anyways, when the wheel finally landed on someone else in the 40s Alliance.
41, I love you, and that's why I'm gonna pass it on to you.
We finally have somebody new.
40 Alliance, dude.
This just might be our last spin.
Oh.
Don't do it.
Mr. 100, do you have anything to say to the person attempting
No.
to eliminate you?
I hope that you will not eliminate me, and I ask you not to vote me out.
Mr. 100, I am so sorry.
You're actually a fucking piece of shit asshole. Are you kidding me? Are you fucking for real? Dude, oh, ew. I don't want to keep watching this. I'm actually I'm grossed out. That's horrible.
Sorry, God bless you. I hope that everything works out.
What the fuck do you mean I hope everything works out? He's 100 fucking years old. What do you fucking mean by that? I hope it all. What do you fucking mean? He's 100. He was born in 1924. Or 5 years before he was born, women couldn't vote. Isn't that crazy? That's how old he is. Bro just wanted to chill in his cube.
For you.
Why couldn't you just let him do one spin? It probably wouldn't have been you. I'm so mad.
Adios.
Oh, no.
I understand your response, and I congratulate you on what you do.
Let's give it up for age.
Yeah, he's a better man than I am. Holy shit. If I was 100 in that spot, I say, hey, I'm going to die soon, and you are the worst thing I've experienced in my 100 years. That's what I would have said.
100.
Everyone was absolutely heartbroken to see our oldest contestant be eliminated. And because he was clearly a crowd favorite,
I'd say I'm going to come back and haunt you, straight up.
I'll give you $20,000 for coming out and competing.
Thank you. I've enjoyed being with you.
It's been brutal. We just watched a lot of people get eliminated.
It got so much more boring. The only reason I'm going to continue to watch is to see the 40-year-olds lose. And if one of them win, this is the worst Mr. Beast video ever.
I know everyone's probably very sad right now.
Specifically 43.
Eliminated, 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 eliminated.
We don't need to say specific numbers.
True.
How do you feel after the challenge?
I've lost the love for the 40s. I'll say it out loud. They decimated my crew.
The 50s don't seem to like you guys.
Because we knocked half of them out. If they had gotten the mic, they would have knocked half of us out.
I agree.
The moral of the story is trust no one.
And after letting the contestants
that a good
recover
moral?
for a few hours, we held another vote to see if they could decide on a winner. Looks like literally none of you can agree on anything. It's time for another challenge. It'll be intense.
Good.
If you look over here, you'll see $250,000.
I do see that, Jimmy.
Not to be confused with the other $250,000.
Okay.
And one of you could walk out with this one right now.
Oh, Lord.
But before I tell you how, we need to black out all your rooms. Bring in the crowd. It's time for another.
Man.
Barbarians have been getting uppity of late. We must step up our patrols.
All right, let's head off.
A walk would be nice.
Another challenge. It'll be intense.
Good.
If you look over here, you'll see $250,000.
I do see that, Jimmy.
Not to be confused with the other $250,000.
Okay.
And one of you can walk out with this one right now.
Oh, Lord.
But before I tell you how, we need to black out all your rooms. Bring in the curtains.
He doesn't want us talking to each other.
Which is tough because we're such a strong team, so.
That really antes up the stakes a bit.
We have officially blacked out all 20 cubes. If only one of you voluntarily step out and eliminate yourself, you win this $250,000. But if any more than one of you try to go for it, you'll be eliminated and win nothing. The timer has started. Let's see if someone wins $250,000.
I literally missed out.
No, I think you don't. I think you don't step out. I think there's too many people. Almost assuredly more than 2 step out here. Like I'm so convinced.
On $100,000 today. This time, I'm gonna go exactly what I came here for. Just letting you know, I will be stepping out. So if you want to join me, then we can be losers together.
I think I might do it.
64, you going?
Yep.
Well, if you go and 42 goes, you don't get nothing.
That is right.
It was abundantly clear that age 42 was going to do everything in his power to secure this challenge's prize money for himself. Which means, while they're deciding if they want to step out of their cubes, I want to tell you guys about Top Troops. Top Troops is a free-to-play mobile game where you battle enemies, conquer lands, and unlock new characters.
Are you in this game?
I haven't got to that talking point yet.
My bad.
With Top Troops, I can literally train my own army to fight in massive epic battles. So that right there, Mac, is actually my very own character in Top Troops.
He's really handsome.
I am, bro, I'm in a video game. And for the next 14 days to test out my character, they gave me my own battle challenge.
Top Troops. No.
My new character can literally lower the enemy's damage. And if you use it in my
Top Troops, no.
challenge, it gets even more powerful.
That's pretty cool.
Download Top Troops now by using the link in the description, or, let me see that, scan the QR code on Nolan's face right now. For a limited time, you'll get a King's Chest and 15 shards on me to help unlock exclusive troops.
Please get this thing off my face.
I got you.
Please. Oh.
I'm walking out.
Someone else walk out. I'm gonna fucking. Someone else walk out. If this guy wins $250,000, I'm gonna fucking punch myself in the mouth.
Someone could leave with this money right now. And if you do decide to leave, you must remain silent.
Nobody's gotten out on his side. As of right now, 42 is gonna walk away with $250,000.
50's hanging tight.
Like a rock.
Casey, you sticking?
Casey's staying.
All right, bud.
3, 2. Step out now or forever hold your peace. 1. Time is up. Let's see if someone just won $250,000. Guards, drop the curtains. If you look around, you'll see that 42 was the only one to step out. Until 2 seconds remained, and someone all the way over there stepped out at the last second.
Let's go!
Oh my God.
Penniless, bro. Penniless.
Sorry, 42.
They say, go big or go home.
Yeah, so go the fuck home. Get out.
40's just lost their leader.
Oh.
And you guys are still playing. Just remember that.
This is tough.
You both rolled the dice, and it didn't work out.
I made my voice very loud and clear, and you knew what was going to happen, so you basically said, money, I don't like you.
It happens.
That's okay.
I think.
Yeah, you fucking lost. You're a loser. You lost. I don't know why you're doing a speech about it.
That's enough stress
Go
for
home.
today.
Please
Make
go
sure
home.
you make lots of friends tonight.
My neighbor is gone now.
I made it very, very, very loud and clear with my voice, telling everyone, listen, there's only one winner here. It seemed to have worked until the last 2 seconds.
I love 58. I love 58 so much. His silence speaks volumes. It speaks so much. Oh my God. Wow. He's got wisdom.
Sorry, 2 seconds count. My decision was made before the clock started.
It looks like the 50s were not so quickly going to forget the damage that they took yesterday.
All I gotta say is 40s, watch out for the 50s because they'll come back after you.
And thanks again to Top Troops for...
I mean, I would literally say like, hey man, I would have rather lost out on $250,000 than you getting it. It actually brings more joy to my life. Call me a petty fuck. I don't care. You losing money is worth more than a chance at $250,000.
making this video possible. Make sure to go download it after you finish the video. So far, 82 people have been eliminated from this challenge, but we're not slowing down anytime.
I haven't got this feeling. This is the same feeling I had when I beat Elden Ring in one sitting. I feel like relief. I was so worried he was gonna win, and I don't know why. I don't know why. In 21 minutes, I didn't like someone so much that I'm happy they didn't win this much. But I feel relief.
And soon. Good morning, everybody. Do you think you're all gonna agree on who should win the 250 grand?
Maybe.
Throw the votes up on the tablets. Surely.
I want the 14-year-old to win so
the
bad.
same person.
Let's be honest. Should I just get the next challenge ready?
Yeah.
Yeah, I figured.
It's getting less unanimous as we have less people.
14.
All right, time for the next challenge. Bring out the briefcases. At this point, all the people older than 40 began to pick up on what the next challenge was.
There are cases with numbers on them, like deal or no deal.
Oh my goodness, this is deal or no deal, I think.
It almost looks like the deal or no deal.
Our next challenge looks really similar to the very popular show Deal or No Deal. And so we brought out the face of the show himself, Howie Mandel.
What up, Howie?
Everyone over the age of 40 really loved Howie.
Yeah, I was gonna say, hey, you get Howie Mandel with a 40+ group. Shit, dude. The 14-year-old's like, I have never seen this man in my life.
Please.
14-year-old, you might not have seen it.
Do you know me?
Wait. I might know some. Is music? Are you a music artist?
That's so funny. That's so funny. Holy shit. No, like Mr. Worldwide?
And if you're also under the age of 40 and haven't seen Deal or No Deal, don't worry, I'll explain the rules along the way. If you look at those 18 briefcases over there, half say eliminated and half say safe. I need you to pick a number.
14?
Makes sense.
That's not how Deal or No Deal works, just to clarify.
Open this briefcase where no one else, including me, can see what's inside. Do you know what's inside?
Yes.
Who is the next youngest person here?
I think it's me.
Deal or No Deal works, just to clarify.
Open this briefcase where no one else, including me, can see what's inside. Do you know what's inside?
Yes.
Who is the next youngest person here?
I think it's me.
All right, now I'm going to 41. 41 now has the option to steal 14's briefcase for herself, or roll the dice and choose a random one of the remaining briefcases.
This is just White Elephant.
Let's see how well they're able to read each other.
Hey, what's in the case number 14?
It says safe.
I'll steal it from you.
41. Open the case.
I love it. He's having such a good time.
No, I am. This is like I'm reminiscing. Open the case.
Oh! Wow! Why didn't he lie and keep a safe briefcase? That means everyone's odds just got worse. It's time to pick a new briefcase. What number will it be?
13.
Lucky 13.
On to our next youngest contestant, age 43.
Hey, 14. What you got in your suitcase?
It says eliminated.
Whoa.
I'm gonna be honest, at this point, I didn't even know if he was telling the truth or not.
14,
I think he's telling the
can you
truth.
swear that it says not safe?
It says not safe.
Whoa. Is this a strategy?
I think I'm gonna pick my own suitcase today.
14.
Dude, I don't think he's lying.
Open your briefcase.
All right.
Dude, he's actually, okay, God, he's not really good at this. God, that's frustrating to watch. He just did not play that well. It's just crazy. Oh, that was tough. Okay, all right. Man, he's a good kid, though. That is a good kid right there. He's got a bright future ahead of him. It's not going to be a big winning day, but, you know, a bright future. Honest guy. Very honest.
Eliminated.
Oh, 14.
I'm so sorry, buddy.
Also, another person on your elimination list. It never ends with her.
See you, buddy.
I love when you say Mr. Worldwide.
You're the best.
Thank you. So I wanted to be honest, and I was, and I got eliminated. I feel like what I did was the right thing.
There are 16
I mean, that's true. He was honest. I guess you can be honest and still win, though. Just don't say such definitive statements. Be like, you know, you could be honest there. You just say, hey, I wouldn't mind if you took my case. You can say that both times.
Briefcases, pick your number.
I'm gonna go with lucky number 3.
We don't even need a microphone for this one. They're side by side.
We still have an alliance. You can trust me or not. If you are safe, I'm gonna let you keep your briefcase. Are you safe?
I am not safe.
Now I have to make the hard decision. No steal.
Okay. He chose not to steal 43's briefcase.
She lied to him
Open
for
it
sure.
up for us. If
I
she
could've
is
read that.
lying, and this case
She was.
does in
It was
fact say
obvious.
safe, the 40s will not be able to trust each other any longer, and their alliance will be broken.
Wait, why the fuck would she? Oh God. So she what?
That is a strong alliance. I'm so sorry, 43.
We love you, 4-3.
You should just never say that your case is eliminated. Or excuse me. Oh God, I guess it's tough. I think you just always have to say it's a safe. Yeah, I think that's the only winning strategy. You have to always say it's a safe. And then if you're honest and someone steals from you, and then the next case says eliminated, you say it again. I think you just always say it's safe.
This is almost worse than being buried.
It's definitely worse. 15 cases are left, and only 8 of them are safe.
I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm eliminated.
I'm just gonna go with the fates.
44. He was eliminated.
This is brutal.
Good luck, ma'am.
Pick whatever number you want.
10.
10.
Make
I
sure
love
no one
these
sees it.
40s
I
getting
didn't walk in
fucking
here with
wiped
money.
out.
I walked in here with integrity. It's a safe.
Are you telling the truth?
You are making the biggest choice of your life.
Whoa. Yeah, it's
That
suspense.
is steal or no steal.
I'm gonna take it.
There's no turning back.
Ooh, her face is giving she fucking lied.
Your future lies inside this case.
I can't.
Open the case.
Wow.
She was telling the truth.
Thank you so much.
Let's see if at some point she decides to move on herself.
What do you want him to think is in your case?
Eliminated.
I'm gonna believe you and let you keep your case then.
Open the case.
These guys are just horrible at this game. They're just downright horrible.
While her honesty did in fact get her eliminated, it did save 2 of the people in her alliance.
Are you honest, 48?
I've always been honest with you, 5-1. You know that. I'm gonna make it easy for you. It says eliminated.
Howie, I got this one. Steal or no steal.
I love that.
Anyways, $250,000 on the line, 51.
I am going to not steal.
Let's see if 48 was telling the truth. 3, 2, 1.
He was lying. Well played. That was well played.
I hope.
See, like, it's fine. To me, ultimately, I don't think that's that bad. I'm not mad at 48 for doing that. Because, like, 51 still has a chance. You still get a case. But, you know, you don't want to keep fucking plucking cases up. That's fine.
Hope you all learned. That's how you lie, folks.
She made it to the top 9. Let's see if 51 does as well.
17, Howie. Here we go. 17 is coming up.
I'm gonna trust whatever he
He said he
says.
wouldn't lie? No, he said he hadn't lied to him yet.
It says eliminated. Steal or no steal?
No steal.
No steal. All right. Let's show her.
He was honest.
51.
I guess the worst interaction is if you have eliminated and you convince someone to steal your elimination case. That is like, that's tough. That's heavy.
Now eliminated.
That sucked.
Even though 54 just dodged a bullet, she is now faced with an elimination case.
Hi, 54, I am ready.
I'm honestly gonna tell you that in box number 7, it says eliminated.
I know you are giving my ticket out of here because you won't lie to me.
This is a tough decision. Steal or no steal?
And now I feel like there's a whole world sitting on my shoulders right now. Steal.
All right.
Even though she said it has eliminate, you're gonna steal it?
That is what I said, yes. Steal.
He's jumping on a grenade for her.
Do you believe her?
I do. I want the best for her. I mean, I'll see my grandchildren.
Oh my gosh.
That's so sweet.
Wow. That might be the most selfless thing I've ever witnessed in my life.
I feel like I'm going to trip over this thing.
You gave me the
That's so sweet.
choice I have made.
You have a chance to give something.
Oh my God.
Give that to that person. And I did win. I met Howie Mandel.
And when faced
For a 59-year-old, that is pretty. That's like the fucking Pope.
with yet another
that's
elimination
so
case,
sweet.
once again, she chose to tell the truth.
I'm just going to tell you that it says eliminated.
No, I'm not going to steal it.
Oh my God. You know what this reminds me of? Remember Dragon Ball Z when Chaozu killed himself to try to destroy was it Vegeta or is it Frieza or something? And then it was like, no, it actually literally did nothing. Like, yeah, you didn't need to do all that. It was actually like not. It was Nappa, yeah. Yeah, Chaozu tried to kill himself to take out Nappa, and it just didn't do it. Didn't even leave a mark. That's exactly what just happened.
As the game neared its end,
That's so funny. God, well, you know what? That moment of 59 was still very sweet, but it ended up being pointless. That sucks.
we were running out of safe briefcases.
I got one of the safe box.
I'd like to steal. I believe him. What?
And once we got to the final two briefcases, we had no idea if they were going to lie or tell the truth. It's between 67 and 96. One is safe.
Give me 96.
And one is eliminated. Do you want to pick the briefcase? Or do you want 96 to pick the briefcase?
Go for it, 96.
It's amazing that you're here. I hope I have the energy at your age that you have.
And I want a downhill ski next year.
Okay. Which case do you want?
16.
16 it is.
We're going to open and look at the case so nobody else can see it.
What in the case, 96?
Eliminate.
My dad is 96 years old. He don't told a whole lot of lies.
Do you want to take the last case on stage or steal 96's case?
No steal.
And because these are our final two briefcases, we're going to take the drama up a notch and open them both at the same time.
I hope 96 swindled the fuck out of him.
See who's moving on to the top 9 for $250,000. I'm going to give us a countdown.
They could both be eliminate or could say. I don't think they're safe based off how many safe cases have happened.
3, 2, 1.
You're staying. We're staying.
The 96-year-old lied.
I'm alive and kicking. That is why.
Yo, I want the 96-year-old to win. I want him to win. It's funny because, like, ultimately, he's attempting to do the same things 42 did, which is secure himself the $250,000. And he's lying to get there, right? He's not being the most, the highest beacon of morality like the 14-year-old was. But for some reason, when he does it, he's eating. It's based when he does it. I don't know why.
Why he's the oldest person left in this challenge.
And with that, we are now down to the top 9. The next challenge will be even crazier.
It's endgame. We're down to the final 9. I am planning on winning this game.
Super nervous.
40s Alliance holding strong.
Woo!
You know what's funny is they all have vlog cameras, but they're barely using the footage because it's only 40-plus-year-olds. So I can only imagine the pause before the recording button and they actually speak.
Emotions are running high.
The angle's got to be off.
I think it's going to get pretty crazy soon.
And as we
The
rolled
angles
into
are
the
absurd.
final day of this video, the contestants' trust for each other was running thin.
Welcome to my humble abode. Around you is just a sea of red X's.
A sea of blood.
Do you trust those people over there on the other side?
No.
Wait, sorry, what day is it? I missed it.
The contestants' trust for each other was running thin.
Day 4.
My humble abode. Around you is just a sea of red X's.
I see your blood.
Do you trust those people over there on the other side?
No, I don't.
Out of every single person left in this room, who do you trust the most?
47, 100%. When we got into this, it was entirely about, let's see how far the two of us can get. And if it ends up being the last two of us, that would be amazing.
What's your strategy?
I don't have a strategy.
Since you cannot agree on who wins that giant wad of cash over there, you are now going to choose 4 people to eliminate from this competition. The way that you'll decide is simple. All of you will tell the room why you deserve the prize money. And as a group, you'll have to decide who is worthy and not worthy for continuing this challenge.
Wow.
Every decision you have made this entire video leads to this moment. Let them know what you'll spend the money on.
I've got a son who's got pretty significant special needs.
We leave everything back in our country, Philippines.
I have no health insurance. I have horrific neuropathy.
My cousin, she has lupus, so I want to help her. She has
I'm only laughing because lupus is in House, and I still don't know what it is, and I've watched so much House.
3 little ones.
This is so hard, y'all. I also have an autistic nonverbal daughter who will be 7 at the end of the month. She needs so much work, and we've got so far to go.
How old are you? You got a 7-year-old?
No, I'm crying for everybody. Breaks my heart. Just want to give all my money away to everybody.
How can we possibly rank somebody's wishes and hopes higher than anyone else's?
That's a fucking holy shit. That's a line right there. That's a great question.
Invest the money for 90 to 120 days on my mining platform.
It's so unfair to say, well, anyone else's.
Invest the money for 90 to 120 days on my mining platform.
What? Okay, hold up. Someone's got a nonverbal autistic daughter. We got a cousin with lupus, and she's trying to get her Bitcoin operation off the ground. What's that? What? Look, this is a small excerpt, so I don't know exactly what she's talking about. We don't know the context, but it is funny that it's like everyone's giving their saddest story, and then she's like, nah, so like I'm pretty early days in a Doge. Right now I've been mining a lot of shit coins.
It's so unfair to say, well, your charity's not as important as this or that. It doesn't seem fair.
Almost lost his business during the pandemic.
We'll vote one at a time for who's not moving on.
Okay.
Okay, let's start with the obvious.
To my daughter, because I'm living with her. She took me in when I...
This is getting harder and harder the longer it goes. Let's make our decision and move on because it's not getting any easier.
Now that you've heard each other's stories, now it is time for all of you to decide who will stay and who will go.
I don't know what to do.
Let's start with 61.
The people on this side of the room have decided on 61.
After hearing everybody's stories, it's time to see who you collectively think should go home.
I mean, if she was actually talking about crypto, I don't know if she was, then you definitely vote her.
Reveal the results. Wow.
Who was it?
61.
That's me.
Damn, she can't even see. Oh, that's sad.
She's a troublemaker. You know what? So long. Goodbye.
3 more competitors need to be voted out. It is up to you to decide.
I don't know what I'm going to do.
We can do 46 if we need to. Do it now. 46, he wasn't very convincing of much.
Really? He's just from the Philippines. I don't know if he wasn't convincing. It was just... Also, $250,000 in the Philippines goes crazy. He brings that back to the family in Philippines. They're eating off that. That shit goes way deeper.
The votes are in.
Don't jump to racist, but I will say I don't think he was as empathetic. Could be internalized.
All right.
Nervous? Extremely. I'm about to knife my alliance.
Let's see the results. Every vote was on a 40-year-old. I thought you all had an alliance.
Bro.
Whoa. All right.
Yeah, that was kind of dumb because they could have, like, that was dumb. That was a throw. Because, like, realistically, 46, 47, 48, their cubes are adjacent. They could just say, hey, we have power of 3. Any one we vote for will likely get eliminated because there's no cohesion on any other vote. So let's just work through who we want to work through.
46. You have been eliminated.
I think 48's going to go. I think this is a throw.
That just happened. The entire 40-year-olds alliance just imploded.
Who's next?
What? No, no. Tariq is so real.
Let's see what you all decided. Whoa, 96-year-old.
Good luck, and I thank everybody. I'm happy I was on the show.
The final
Sick.
vote coming up.
That's sick. That's sick, man. You don't vote the fucking 96-year-old, man. You just don't.
72. Do it now.
He's the new 43 or the new 42. Listen to him. Do it. Do it.
We're ready for the last elimination of this challenge. And this time, I'm gonna have you tell me what number you voted for. Who did you vote for?
I voted for 72.
One vote for 70.
Well, this will sway the votes, won't it? This will surely sway the votes. 48's gonna leave.
72?
She's a sweetheart.
72. Who did you vote for?
48. Say 48.
41.
No, say 48. Oh, God, that was such a throw.
Vote for 41.
That was such a throw because now you get. Oh.
Who did you vote for?
I voted for 72, so we're
Well, obviously.
even 72.
Yeah, because that was such a throw. She threw.
Who did you vote for and why?
I voted for 41.
Oh.
It was more wants and dreams
I will help my twin sister to get a house.
instead of needs.
That ties it up. Who did you vote for?
72.
Why?
That's 3 votes for 72 and 2 votes for 41. The deciding factor here. Who did you vote for?
72. Do it now.
Break.
I voted for 72.
That means 72 received a majority of votes. I'm sorry. You are eliminated.
Only one person gets that money.
Unfortunately, we knew we had to make some cuts at some point.
It's now time to play the game.
Attention, final contestants. Again and again, you have failed to unanimously vote for a winner. And now you no longer have a choice. I don't like that you guys are so far apart, especially 56 over here. Doesn't feel fair. So boys, it is now time to reveal the biggest twist in this whole video.
The Pentacube.
For the first time since this video began, you may now exit your cubes. I promise you will not be eliminated. And make your way down to the giant cube for your final challenge.
Wait, I was just in a cube.
As I've been saying this entire video, the decision of who wins this money is ultimately up to you. We're gonna throw an hour up on the screen, and when that hits 0, whoever's left in this cube will win the $250,000. And if for some reason there's more than one person, boys, come on out. You'll notice Mac and Tariq are holding flamethrowers, and they will not hesitate to engulf this money in flames if that timer hits 0. Time is ticking. Best of luck.
Only one.
Ooh, you could do 5-way. Hey, let's all win. Let's split 50K ahead. Not bad. That's a good ass 4 days of work.
One of us is walking away with that money.
I feel like there is not one person here above anyone else.
Amen.
That goes from 1 to 100.
We all deserve this money.
It's not deserve. It's win the game. Thoughts?
If we cannot agree in one person, then we gotta find ways to get there.
Any ideas on that?
Buy me out.
I would
50K.
much rather they told us what to do.
Is anyone willing to leave?
That is
No.
a fair question.
I just thought I'd throw that out there. Why not? We haven't discussed that.
Mm-hmm. So none of us want to leave.
So
Oh.
I'm kind of at a disadvantage with y'all. I don't know your story.
If she tells you her story, that money's gonna burn.
But my story is me. My story is my
I
life.
have struggles. She has struggles.
I have struggles.
So do we not want to share anything, or do we just make it as we know right now?
We can't share. We got 15 minutes.
We're just killing time right now.
Time is dwindling. Someone needs to start leaving now.
I can't breathe.
47 doesn't have the heart for this. 47's gonna walk out. She's too sweet for this.
I just rather walk out. No. You deserve to be here just as any of us.
If you're not strong enough to sit there and say that I can stay, I don't see how you can vote somebody out.
This isn't a fight, okay? This is life.
It is life.
Do I want to pick you out? No, I don't want to.
You're not the one that can't handle it and wants to walk out.
Okay, 56, you're getting a little bit aggressive here. I would tone it down a bit. Thank you, the 10 gifted Mason.
I'm not gonna let her walk, and that's it.
All 5 are still in the queue. I can literally feel the intensity.
What about ranked choice voting?
Quickly write down in paper what ranking looks like.
That's smart.
This is how it would look.
48's idea is pretty simple.
That's smart.
Everyone chooses in order who they think deserves the money the most.
This is the fucking British Parliament way. I don't. My American mind cannot comprehend more than 2 options. How would you rank when there are more than 2? It's tough to say.
And whoever appears at the top of all the lists the most consistently will win the money.
So it would just be 1 vote and we're done. That's ranked choice voting.
I say we do that.
Fuck, this is huge. So basically wipe out first vote.
And tally it?
That's what I'm doing. If you want to come over and show me, then I'll start writing.
Dude, imagine he lies. That'd be so beast. So you guys all voted me first.
You've come to a conclusion?
Yes.
Whenever you guys are ready, feel free to step out.
56 was in 5th place.
He did it.
41 and 64 tied for 3rd.
Oh my God. Come on, sister.
47 should get it.
I need somebody to hold on to anyway.
And now it's come down to 47,
It's 47.
and 48.
She's
who
the
have
sweetest.
had the strongest alliance in this whole video since the very first day. But as you know, only one of them can win this $250,000.
I'm almost positive she had the higher votes, and he's now reconciling with that fact and getting the balls to exit the cube.
I came in 2nd. 47 is our winner.
He did it. He did it. Wait, that's so beast of him.
Jesus.
That's so beast of him.
Congratulations, 47. You struggled to eliminate other players. You built the strongest alliance, and even until the very end, you fought for those around you.
I'm not gonna let her walk.
And that is why 100 people ultimately decided that that is your $250,000. And don't worry, all 4 of them are gonna walk away with $10,000.
It's been absolutely amazing.
This is crazy.
47, we have one final surprise for you. Come on out.
You made it, sweetie. I can finally help you.
She sounded like a
Mom.
child. That was so
This
sweet.
was definitely one of my favorite videos to film. Let me know in the comments if you enjoyed the video being longer than normal. We're testing longer
God.
content to prepare for our upcoming Amazon Prime show, which I'll tell you more about later this year.
That was so sweet. Oh, that was a good video. Good video, man. $42 is a menace. That man did some Aizen. Is that Aiden? Are they mistyping Aiden, who is an evil person? Sosuku. Sosuku Aizen from Bleach. Okay. Damn, what a good video. That was good. That was a banger. I think that might be his best one. I agree. Am I crazy? I feel like that was a good-ass vid. Is it dislike bar right? Nah, it's like an estimation. Vernon, thank you the $5. 42's got all the slander, but 30 was the real villain. 30 did the most villainous action. 42 was just a dick with his words. Like, 42 I don't think ultimately did anything bad. I don't even think he lied once. He just did everything with arrogance that I think made me dislike him. Thank you the 50 gifted Thad Bowman. I appreciate it. That's a lot of gifted. I worked really hard on that video, though, so I appreciate it. You know, it helps us afford these big shoots. Getting people 1 to 100, folks, not easy. Not easy. 30 did the correct thing. Yeah, like, I think if you are in 30's shoes, most people probably do it. I guess I say that, and then the other captains didn't. One Sexy Pancake, thank you to 8 months. Honestly, if I reflect, 42's actions were ultimately good. He did not lie once. He did not ruin the entire row by stepping out of the cube and accepting the 100K. He was just a prick. Yeah, he was a prick. But, like, it's funny when you think about it. Like, he didn't steal the money. He could have taken the 100K. He didn't. I think what bothered me the most, ultimately, is how he lost. Because he did not lose in grace. You know what I mean? He lost, and he was like, I told you I was walking out. You should have listened. I feel like that was the moment where I was like, okay, fuck this guy. Yeah, he had hubris. I do think people hate hubris. Hubris seems to be the one defining factor that if, you know, shining too unfoundedly, people want to knock it down. Even if it shines based in some reality, people knock it down. I was on Instagram today. This happened. I was on Instagram. You know that guy, what's that guy's name? Is he Australian? The guy who ran across all of Africa. Y'all know what I'm talking about? He ran across all of Africa. He did like fucking 300 marathons in 300 days or something. Russ Cook, yeah. Russ Cook ran the London Marathon. And he was running as a pace runner for like children for this like charity thing. The hardest geezer. After running across the entirety of Africa, right? People on Instagram got mad at him. He's British, yeah. People on Instagram got mad at him because he did an interview after the London Marathon. And he said, yeah, it was fun being out here. It was a nice stretch of the legs. He was making like, you know, kind of like a joke. Like he ran a marathon and he's like, it was a nice stretch of the legs running a marathon after having run 400 marathons or whatever. And then the people on Insta, bro, they were psychopaths. They're like, oh, nice stretch of the legs. You only beat the 76-year-old by 5 minutes. How about you fucking learn a little humility? Oh, it was a nice stretch of the legs. Why didn't you run it faster? Why didn't you run it faster then, buddy? Because you ran it in 4 hours 20. Why didn't you do sub 4? And the reason they did that is because ultimately I think it's the one thing that people hate the most, which is hubris. And he you know, his interview was totally founded hubris. It was a lighthearted joke. But people hated it so much they were talking shit. To be fair, Insta comments are radioactive. It's true. It's true. All right, let's do our dailies. Earth. How about like ruler. Okay.
Brings a smile to my face. Windstrider! Follow.
Time to go.
Brings a smile to my face.
Time to go. Time to go.
Who says there aren't benefits to a life of wandering?
Time to go.
Gather!
Illusion shattered!
Bow your head. Be sanctified.
One with nature.
Solidify! Order guide you. Settle down. Justice is blood. Gather. Silence.
Like a water type. Oh my god. Kyogre? Too heavy. And too tall. Dude, why can't I even think of... The water guy's at the very end. What's that really beautiful water type Pokemon? It evolves... Okay, there's Relicanth. There's the really tall one. It has like the insane special defense. Flannery. That's the gym leader. Phoebius? Fab? Phobe? Foob? Chat, who am I thinking of? I'm cheating. Melodic. It's not a water type. If it's not water, if it's not normal, if it's not steel, if it's not rock, if it's not ghost, if it's not ground, if it's not psychic, if it's not fairy, if it's not fire, if it's not fighting, if it's not... What does that leave? Bug? Or grass? Who's a really tall grass Pokemon? Garvile? Grovile. What the fuck? What about that really tall guy who's grass who has like a mountain on its back? What's that guy's name? Tropius. The poison type. Oh my god, that was hard. What a fucking hard one it was. Jesus. That was a sweat. That was hard, man. It says all the types I had left. I didn't look, man. I didn't look, bro. I didn't look. I regret everything. That wasn't even the daily mode? Wait, it wasn't? Try Squirtle daily? Wait, we're so back, baby. Seviper. Higher gen. Okay, that's fine. How about wow. Higher gens though. Drillbur. Oh, Gen 5. I can do this. I can do this. Gen 5, and it is short. 0.3 inches. But it weighs a bit more. Alright, Gen 5, water type. What's the starter? Oshawott. Okay, not water. What's the fire one? That's the one from Smash. Lariat. Come on! Fuck! Think! Dude, it's the fucking hot one! Fuck, I know this. There's the cat version. Litten. That's the wrong gen. Fire. What about Durant? Oh my god! I'm back! I'm not washed. Holy shit. That's insane. I promise I did not read chat. It was the only other Pokemon I knew from Gen 5. I could not think of another Pokemon. All I remember from Gen 5 is Pokemon Black and White when you cross the bridge and you fight the guy with the Durant, and it's quite a hard fight. That's so sick, dude. Fuck yeah, I'll end on a dub. Chat, I'm out. I will not be live most likely tomorrow. I will not be live. I have a shoot tomorrow from 10 to 5 p.m. There's a chance I go live after, but it's feeling somewhat unlikely. I will definitely be live on Thursday.
Yeah, it's like good and sick. Just got mid, but.
Look, we got.
Hey, there you are. Come back. Oh, oh, friendship. Oh, bro, come on. What? No. Come on, bro. No, come on. You can't do this to me. She's still alive, right? Wait, fake? Was that real? Did that really happen? Wait, that was just fake, right? They just like fake gave us. That was like the Bukaki clone, right? That was just like that was fake. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good, bro. I'm good. No, don't cut it there.
I'm Himiko.
Hey, are you looking for something to play with somebody else this year? Well, we got you covered with these new and upcoming cooperative games, or co-op games, for 2020. 2024. We got 15 or so games to talk about, so let's get started off with number 15. Little Nightmares 3 is upcoming. As of right now, it doesn't have a release date technically, but it looks pretty far along, and it is fully cooperative. You could either play solo with an AI companion, or 2 people going along across this creepy, gross world. If you've played the other Little Nightmares games, you know what to expect, judging from the trailers and stuff with this game, but also it just is a series that really makes sense for cooperative play, if you ask me. They're just creative, cool, weird, creepy, charming games, and this one looks to be no slouch, but interestingly enough, it's actually being developed by a different developer this time around. It's still published by Bandai Namco, but the developer is Supermassive Games, the people behind the Dark Pictures anthology, The Quarry, Until Dawn, so a very different type of game for them, but also horror, and they absolutely understand the scares, so this makes sense. Like I said, it doesn't have a release date yet for this year, but we're like armchair quarterbacking that we're probably going to see it soon. We hope we do, because Little Nightmares 2 was so awesome, so we really hope that they top it here with this one. Next, over at number 14, we have Outward 2. This is the follow-up to Outworld, a surprise hit, a kind of cult-following RPG. It's essentially like a big explorable world RPG with some survival elements, but also brutal difficulty. There's a lot of emphasis on realism with the previous game, and we expect that here, and it was cooperative, and it is once again going to be a cooperative thing. I actually think the original Outward was so successful because you could play it with other people and kind of uncover the mystery of this game, like figure out the Rubik's Cube of this challenging game together. So hopefully you'll be able to do that and get that same feeling in the second game. It's going to take place 50 years after the events of the previous game, so there might be a lot of new stuff to this world. There were previews for this pretty recently. Some YouTubers and like press outlets got their hands on it, and the sentiment was pretty positive. So we're hoping it gets a full release date soon and we hear more about it. Next, over at number 13, we have Arc Raiders. This one was announced quite a while ago. They've been cooking on it for some time, and it is going to be a technically free-to-play third-person PvPvE extraction shooter set on a, you're not going to believe this, kind of post-apocalyptic Earth ravaged by robot aliens. So this game is definitely doing a lot, as you can tell from the description, but the thing that stood out from us from the very beginning is the style here, just the visual style. Well, first, that it's a third-person shooter. We love them. There's not enough third-person shooters out there, in our opinion, but really just the style, the look of the armor, the kind of spaceman-y-esque vibe to the whole thing just makes it stand out, because there are a lot of free-to-play cooperative shooter looter type things, to be totally honest. But Arc Raiders has kind of always looked a little different from the beginning. We know it's probably going to release, or at least go to early access this year. They have been working on it for a long time. People have gotten their hands on it in like alphas and betas and stuff like that, and it does seem like it's shaping up to be pretty cool. Next, over at number 12, we have Macabre. Here's something a little different. This is actually a stealth extraction horror game. This is a smaller project from a smaller studio called WeForge Studio. We don't know too much about them, but just the visual and some of the concepts alone for this game does sound like it's worth mentioning. It's kind of like you and a bunch of people stuck in infinite timelines, and it's you navigating and kind of looting and gearing up to get through this existential threat. It's in like a harsh winter, in seemingly endless, spooky, creepy woods, and as you explore, you get more scientific equipment at your disposal. As of right now, a lot of it still seems conceptual, but the idea of sneaking around in the woods with your friends while dealing with like existential time rift threats, it just sounds really cool, to be fully honest. So hopefully we see more from Macabre soon. Oh boy, next over at number 11, we have Terminator Survivors. Yes, the Terminator franchise is still going strong, and this time around, they're making a survival game out of it. Terminator Survivors is a game you can play solo or cooperatively with friends, and it's set right after Judgment Day, so it's a pretty cool concept. The world is absolutely ravaged, humans are few, and you have to essentially rebuild, gear up, and start fighting back against the machines. So what better way to do that from a gameplay standpoint than a survival game? The only way you can beat a T-100 is to punch a bunch of trees and then craft some— I'm kidding. All jokes aside with how survival games tend to be, I think the Terminator franchise is a good way to do it. Obviously other sci-fi franchises right now like Dune are also doing similar things with Dune Awakening. This one was kind of announced out of nowhere. We'll just have to wait and see where it goes. It's releasing October 24th, 2024. Next, over at number 10, we have John Carpenter's Toxic Commando. Not only does this have John Carpenter's name attached to it, you know, the horror mastermind, there's a lot that comes with that could be potentially cool, but without his name, the game just looks like a cool concept. It's you and your friends riding around on a big truck blasting zombies and monsters. Kind of like a Left 4 Dead, but centered around a vehicle. If that doesn't sound like a good idea, I don't know what is. You're going to be able to upgrade skills and abilities with all these different characters, and the game is going to be focused around gore, grossness, over-the-top action, but also some levity and humor, and that totally works. Like, this just looks like fun B-movie action. It totally makes sense. As of right now, they do have beta signups. We don't know about a release date, but I've seen some websites and some media places speculate that we might at least start to see it start to trickle out by sometime later in 2024. It is being developed by Saber Interactive and published by Focus Entertainment. Saber Interactive, of course, did the World War Z game, which was a good zombie horde shooter that was kind of underrated, so we're hoping they have similar success here with Toxic Commando. And to be frank, we can't wait to see more. Next, over at number 9, we have Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2. If you ask me, this type of game is the perfect one to play with a friend. You, as an overpowered space badass, just mowing down hordes of enemies with tons of gore and explosions and just like insanely over-the-top weaponry. Like, this is a recipe for perfect co-op fun. If you played the first Space Marine game, you probably know the gist, but essentially here it's a third-person shooter against hordes of aliens and enemies. Set in the Warhammer 40k sci-fi universe, there's a lot going on to it, but you can just boil it down to being a badass space marine killing shit. And with a friend, that just seems way better. From what we've seen so far, the visuals here are really impressive. The combat, very kind of straightforward, old-fashioned, but sometimes we just really like that. We don't have to overcomplicate everything. We've been waiting for a long time to a follow-up to Space Marine, and now that it's been announced, we've been waiting a long time for this one. But fortunately, as of right now, it is releasing September 9th, 2024. Next, over at number 8, we have Killer Clowns from Outer Space, the game. Now, I feel like the asymmetric multiplayer type game thing is kind of played out. There's enough of them out there. There's also a lot of them based on horror franchises, but not a lot of them are based off of weird kind of cult following horror franchises like Killer Clowns from Outer Space. If you know Killer Clowns, you get it. If you don't, I wouldn't even try. But this is being made by IllFonic, the people that get this type of game and these horror properties. I mean, they did Ghostbusters Spirits Unleashed, but more importantly, they did Predator Hunting Grounds, which was actually a pretty good, decent spin on the franchise at the very least. They've done more in the past, but what you need to know is that they made a Killer Clowns game. Like, I just can't believe that. So this is releasing June 4th, 2024. And next, over at number 7, we have MechWarrior 5 Clans. Now, it's been a long-awaited return to classic MechWarrior, and MechWarrior 5 seems to be bringing the fun by focusing on a campaign, a structured, traditional MechWarrior experience. However, according to the developers, it is one that will be able to be played cooperatively, and that is pretty cool. What we have here is some impressive environments, arenas, cutting-edge robot tech. Seems like some upgraded weaponry, and also just the visuals are pretty impressive so far from what we've seen. There's still a lot more to be seen, but it is Piranha Games. They have been at the MechWarrior thing for a while now, so we're looking forward to getting our hands on this. As of right now, it has a release date slated for just 2024. And next at number 6, we have Hyper Light Breaker. From the creators of Hyper Light Drifter comes this really over-the-top, fun-looking action combat game. You're fighting tons of monstrous enemies in this stylized, absolutely gorgeous world in fast-paced, third-person combat. But a lot of this is just how you're getting around the world, traversal, the fun of that speed and agility of your character, but it does seem like you're going to be able to do different character builds, upgrade your gear, and most importantly, play single player or play cooperatively online with friends. This looks like the type of game where that can be absolutely awesome. It seems like they're going all in with co-op play this time, and we're excited to see how it really rolls out. Hyper Light Breaker doesn't have a release date yet, but we're hoping to see more of it this year. Next at number 5, we have Ark 2. The long-awaited follow-up to the original Ark Survival Evolved is coming eventually. I mean, we're cheating a little bit by putting it on this list because we don't know when it is releasing, but we're thinking 2024 is a year where we finally get some real concrete stuff on it. It's a big open sandbox survival game. It's going to be multiplayer. We don't know how exactly they're going to innovate on the genre yet, but we know there's absolutely potential, and considering the first one was such a massive success, you know they probably got the budget at this point to pull anything off. But whatever you're going to be doing in this game, you are going to be doing it with friends, and that's going to be cool to see. Next, over at number 4, we have The First Descendant. Now, what at first glance might look like a pretty typical over-the-shoulder looter shooter thing, take a couple minutes, maybe spend a time with one of the trailers, and you realize the vibe is a little different here. The world's a little more abstract, it's beautiful, the character designs and the enemy designs are just a little weirder, and the game is powered by Unreal Engine 5, so it's looking to be pretty gorgeous. You can play solo or co-op, and all of these characters have different abilities that you can take advantage of, and the idea is to combine these abilities to take down enemies. And from what we've seen with early glimpses of the game, the focus is on some pretty gigantic enemies. That's pretty cool, and honestly, we want to see more of that. First Descendant looks like a weird Hideo Kojima mashup of a looter shooter. It's not Hideo Kojima, but just there's something about it that's a little Death Stranding mixed with like high concept sci-fi. I don't know. Either way, as of right now, it is being developed and published by Nexon, and it is slated for summer 2024. Now down at number 3, we have Path of Exile 2. This action RPG is going to be free to play and giving players essentially more of what they loved from the first game. So like you're going to have all the classes from the original game, but apparently you're going to have 6 new classes to mess around with. And that seems to be like what they're really growing out here, the depth of the classes, and we're excited to see how you can take advantage of that. This one is set years after the original Path of Exile, so expect different environments, different enemies, and hopefully just a lot more fun to be had. You're going to be able to do co-op with up to 6 players. No release date for this one yet, but we're definitely expecting and hoping to hear more of it this year. Now down at number 2, we have Content Warning. This is probably one of the more unique games on this list, and it has been taking Steam by storm for a reason. So essentially this is a cooperative game with a horror spin. You're in this goofy world, and the idea is to make videos with your friends, literally try to go viral. So you're running around with cameras, trying essentially to film scary stuff, and you're going into scary areas, and it's very like lo-fi and weird. The graphical style just really works for this type of thing. And essentially you're upgrading your gear and then you're diving down into runs to film the scary stuff. Along with that being like a part of the progression of the game, you're able to actually watch back what you filmed and like have little watch parties with your friends. I'm not doing a very good job of explaining the appeal to this, but it's just got a lot of charm. And if you got a group of friends, it's definitely worth checking out. It's 2 to 4 player co-op. It only released in April, so there's still probably a lot more to come from it, but you should get it on the ground floor and check it out. Now down at number 1, we have Helldivers 2. If we're talking about doing fun, silly stuff with your friends, Helldivers 2, as of right now, is one of the better blueprints. You build out a pretty basic soldier, you pick a loadout, and you dive down onto planets to liberate and fight for freedom. Essentially, murder robots and bugs. It's kind of a community-based game, things change within it, and essentially the player base is fighting back against these hordes. But what it really boils down to is fun, chaotic shooting tons of awesome tech and ordnance to call in to explode everything, and simple fun shooting mechanics that are just effective, with enemies that overwhelm you in hordes that feel satisfying to kill but are also pretty challenging. If you like mindless run and gun third-person shooters of old, of yesteryear, the 360 PS3 era, maybe, Helldivers 2 definitely might be your thing. It's on PS5 and PC, and you should absolutely check it out, because if you ask us, in our humble opinion, it is definitely worth the hype. Those are some co-op games worth playing, but we got some bonus games we couldn't squeeze on the list. The first is Demonsomnia. Also, Blight Survival. We hope to see more of that this year. Ghost of Tsushima is releasing on PC, and you're going to get the awesome cooperative mode Legends, Men of War 2, Streets of Rogue 2, and Dune Awakening. We're really looking forward to hearing more from that one soon. But as of right now, these are some co-op games in 2024 that you should keep an eye on. If you got more, there are definitely more out there. Let us know. We'd love to hear any feedback you got at all down in the comments about these games, and any choices, hit us up. But if you like
There are a lot of people that complain video games have gotten way too easy, that the gamer has become too soft in recent years, but there's some pretty recent stuff out there that'll knock you out, just like Mama said. Hi folks, it's Falcon, and today on Game Ranks, 10 of the hardest games from the last 5 years. Starting off with number 10, it's The Lies of P, which came out this year. The thing about Souls-likes is they're never usually as unforgiving as the games their subgenre takes its namesake from, but not Lies of P. This game wants to be the next Bloodborne, but it's kind of like Bloodborne crosses Sekiro. It's Bloodborne if you took everything about that game and threw it out the window. Bloodborne had a relatively generous dodge window, so Lies of P, hey, guess what? That's about useless. Bloodborne had healing items, and Lies of P, I guess, does, but they're really limited. I also hope you like parrying enemies that are often unpredictable and attack in strange patterns. Oh yeah, and your weapons degrade every time you miss a perfect parry, which, by the way, this game doesn't play around with in terms of timing. Some of the bosses totally brutal too. Even when the game gives you a free helper, they end up being mostly worthless a lot of the time. And the majority of the bosses have multiple stages. Like, most of the bosses are 2 fights in one, which gets a little absurd after a while. The combat is well designed and feels really good. Like, these guys really know what they're doing. And it's not one of those games that's a lot harder than the designers intended. They intended it. They wanted us to suffer here. Well, maybe not so much anymore. They did apparently patch it in a way that allows you to play it a lot easier, but I didn't play that version. I played the release version, which was very hard. At number 9 is Returnal. I could have easily made an entire list of roguelikes, but that feels a bit like cheating here. I mean, the whole point of that genre is that the games are so hard you'll have to make multiple runs in order to master the mechanics, and if the game is feeling generous, unlock upgrades and power-ups that make later runs easier. Returnal does have a little of that, but compared to something like Hades that gives you a steady stream of persistent upgrades, Returnal mostly just hands you some weapon unlocks and traversal powers and calls it a day. What makes Returnal so unusual is that it looks like a big-budget first-party game, but plays more like an old-school shooter. You run around at, frankly, pretty high speeds, dodging bullet hell, projectile patterns, and blasting away at really mobile enemies. It's a relentless game that is also pretty long for a roguelike, so fatigue can also be an issue. Any game that requires a high level of focus over a long time is asking a lot from players, and eventually your brain is going to shut down. And that's when mistakes are made. It's a tough game all around that requires a highly dedicated player to get through it. At number 8 is Ghost Runner, an indie FPS from 2020. It's kind of like if you combine Hotline Miami with Doom Eternal. Like, basically super hot without the time stop mechanic. Even with the ability to completely stop time, Superhot is a pretty damn tough game, so imagine what it's like playing this. There is a lot of dying, there's just no other way to put it. Technically, you can slow down time leading up to performing a perfect dodge move, but it's difficult to get a lot of utility out of this thing in the heat of combat, and all it takes is one stray bullet to take you down permanently. It's not a roguelike. Enemy layouts are always the same, so at least at first, you're mostly relying on memorization to get you through encounters. Until a certain point, the whole thing kind of starts to click. Yeah, death is still omnipresent, but the game does get easier after a while. So then they start throwing the real bullshit at you. Ghost Runner is one of those games you just have to get used to dying a lot. It's part of the game. But at least the loading times are nice and fast. And number 7 is Elden Ring. You can't really have a list like this without mentioning Elden Ring. Came out in 2022, and it's a massive landmark success, but also brutally difficult. The open world aspect does neuter the difficulty in some ways compared to Souls-likes in the past, but that also gives the game more opportunities to throw ultimately unfair bullshit at you. From the difficulty wall that is the first real boss, Margaret, the Fell Omen, to From's most absurdly difficult boss yet, Melania, the game it pulls no punches. For players who got stuck on Margaret for hours at the start of the game, you'd think it couldn't get any harder, but Elden Ring actually escalates the difficulty as the game goes on. All the hardest fights are saved for near the end. It's funny to think about now, but before the game came out, people were actually worried the developers were trying to go too mainstream with this, and that it'd be too easy compared to past games. And I guess in some ways you could say it kind of is, but in all the ways that matter, it's really not. Yeah, the game saves some of its most depraved cruelties for optional areas, but this is a Souls game. Just calling something optional isn't going to stop someone from wasting hours of their life going through the miserable hero's tombs anyway. The open world aspect does make it a little more forgiving, because you can just leave and go somewhere else at any given point. And the ability to summon little helper guys at any time can make the bosses easier, but overall, it's a really, really hard game that doesn't pull punches. And number 6 is Celeste, a kinder, gentler Super Meat Boy. The presentation makes this seem like a standard cloying indie game, but the gameplay is about as hardcore as it can possibly get. It starts off easy enough in the first world, but the difficulty just keeps escalating with increasingly brutal precision platforming challenges. This is a cruel game, to say the least. But instead of kicking you while you're down, the game does you solid and tries to be encouraging. Like, the way it lists your deaths, instead of presenting it like you're a loser who dies a lot, the game tries to frame your losses as a monument to your perseverance. At the end of the day, that's fully an aesthetic difference, completely just how it's presented, but for some reason, this game is considered a good gateway game for people who want to try out more challenging games. It is merciless, though. Unless you've been weaned on a diet of Kaizo Mario levels, which not everybody has, then this game is going to kill you a whole lot. At number 5, Baba Is You from 2019. It's not just action games and platformers that can be excruciatingly tough. Depending on how good your brain works, puzzle games can actually be the hardest games. I love a good puzzle game now and then. I 100%ed The Witness with some minor bumps along the way, but Baba Is You it's another level. The game is about manipulating rules. What starts off as a clever little word puzzle turns into this introductory course on programming, and I'm not exaggerating a lot. I may not be exaggerating at all, I don't know. But these puzzles go really hard, and there are a hell of a lot of them. Even as a fairly experienced puzzle gamer, I can only get so far with this one. The amount of brain power required for every single puzzle, it can be too much at a certain point. For the people who love these types of games, or the guys who can play Zachtronics games and describe any of them as easy, I'm sure this isn't as insurmountable as it is for normies like myself. But for us, it might as well be impossible, guys. At number 4, Sifu from 2022, a roguelike action game with some of the most intense, hard-hitting combat of like any game. It's massively unforgiving, and it really punishes any mistake that you make viciously, and it's really what makes the game so good. The gimmick is that you run through multiple beat-em-up stages in sequence, but if you die, and that's going to happen a lot, at least at first, you come back to life instantly, but your age increases. If you get too old, you drop dead, so you either go back to the start of the level and try to avoid taking too much damage, or most likely just restart the entire run. The game never changes between runs, so the entire experience is about gaining mastery over the level layouts and combat system. What makes the combat so tough, though, is you gotta parry and also 2 different dodges. A hop to avoid low attacks and a duck to avoid high ones. Enemies very fast and bosses absolutely relentless. Just learning when and where to dodge is a huge part of the game. When everything is going well, you feel like a non-stop flurry of violence, like a Jackie Chan, a Jet Li, or a Donnie Yen, or rather, all of them rolled into one, but all it takes is one bad hit and suddenly the failures start to cascade. It's a game that could have easily been made without any roguelike enemies, but the challenge really does benefit the combat system. The only way to beat this game is to truly master it. At number 3 is Darkest Dungeon 2, which came out in 2021 in early access. The original Darkest Dungeon was tough, but this one, it's arguably worse. It is debatable that the sequel really is tougher than the original, because the original is crazy hard, but what isn't debatable is that this game is hard as hell either way. There are a few reasons for that. Healing is overall less generous than in the first, and you start off weaker than you did in the original game as well. Yeah, you can't randomly miss anymore, but by making the combat more deterministic, they got away with making it harder. The death protection kicks in less often without getting necessary upgrades, so you're losing guys a lot more often early on. Apparently, it was even worse in early access. They made it easier when the final game came out, but it's still an incredibly unforgiving experience.
Empowered, emboldened.
And number 2 is Spelunky from 2020, the crowning king of the hard as hell roguelikes. Spelunky 2 took the absurd difficulty of the original game and told it to hold its beer. What makes these games so difficult is the high level of randomization combined with the utter lethality of pretty much everything. It's not just that getting hit by a spear trap will hurt you, it's that it'll fling you into a snake or a spike trap, or you'll slip or drop a necessary tool, and if that happens, you're doomed. The sudden randomness of death is one of those things that makes Spelunky 2 a fun game to laugh about, but it's also really frustrating, especially when it's so hard that just getting through the first biome is a struggle. Seriously, as someone who did complete the first game without a whole lot of issues, it took forever to just get used to the sequel's first area, the dwelling, and it only gets worse from there. Spelunky 2 is kind of a Lost Levels type sequel, a game that's designed to challenge people who mastered the first game and screw everyone else over. And I'm sure the dozen or so people who got good at Spelunky loved it, just like, damn game, give me a break here. And at number 1 is Sekiro Shadows Die Twice, arguably From Software's hardest game. What makes Sekiro so tough is that it absolutely requires players to master its parry system. If you can't do that, you are not finishing the game. Or at least, if you can, it's going to be the biggest pain in the ass. I certainly did not finish it without getting good at parrying, because the game's just designed around it. The timing is super tight, enemies attack in all kinds of hard to predict, even harder to time patterns, and it only takes a few mistakes to die. Yes, you can come back to life, but in a game this difficult, it doesn't really matter. There's times where this game actually kind of is forgiving. Certain areas can be cleared out without having to directly engage with any enemies at all. You can grapple around and sneak attack everyone in sight for an easy victory, but bosses are where this game is just like no mercy whatsoever. A lot has been said said about how absurdly difficult the last boss is, and that's true because the final boss is insanely hard, maybe From's most challenging boss of all time, but the rest of the game, it's no joke. To put that into perspective, though, even the people who think the rest of the game isn't that bad often think the last boss is too hard. If Sekiro is on another level from most games, and the final boss is on another level from the rest of Sekiro, it's a game that either clicks, you get the parry timing down, or it doesn't, and it's basically impossible to finish. It's super brutal, super cruel, completely unforgiving, but damn, does it feel good when you beat a boss that you've been struggling with for hours. I'll throw a bonus at you as well. Fear and Hunger from 2018. There's hard games and there's masochist simulators. And then there's Fear and Hunger, one of the cruelest RPGs ever made. So much of this game is a literal flip of the coin. Oh, heads, you're okay. Tails? Ah, sorry, you're dead. It's an obtuse, baffling game where all it takes is one wrong move and you don't have legs and you're doomed. It's a game that's designed to be as confusing and difficult as a game can be without being literally impossible to finish. I mean, maybe it is impossible to finish. I don't know. I haven't finished it. I cannot get past the first door. All those Let's Plays and wikis are like an elaborate prank, I think, to make people think the game is possible to beat. We can agree on that, right? Joking aside, the sequel is a lot more forgiving. That's to say, it's only extremely difficult rather than nearly impossible. If you like to suffer in games for whatever reason, often in extremely juvenile ways, this is the game for you. And that's all for today. Leave us a comment. Let us know what you think. If you like this video, click like. If you're not subscribed, now's a great time to do so. We upload brand new videos every day of the week. The best way to see them first is, of course, a subscription. We all have our favorite gaming genres, but variety is the spice of life, and sometimes you want to try something new. Hi folks, it's Falcon, and today on Game Ranks, the 10 best games to try a new genre. Starting off with number 10, the best game to start playing an FPS. We're going to go probably with Halo the Master Chief Collection with a side order of Halo Infinite. The FPS genre can actually be one of the toughest to break into, so much so that basically any recommendation has to come with a bunch of qualifiers because even the best ones can be pretty unfriendly to beginners. We put a little thought into it, and we think that the Halo series is probably the best one out there for people who just want to try a first-person shooter. Obviously, we'd recommend the Halo Master Chief Collection and, of course, the new one, Halo Infinite. I think it's kind of the weapon limit and the slower movement speed that make these games a little more friendly for a beginner. Of course, there's still a lot of room for high-level play, but the experience is kind of less twitchy than a lot of the FPS contemporaries that it has, and that automatically makes it easier to get into. The Master Chief Collection, of course, contains remastered versions of 1, 2, and 3, the side game, ODST, the prequel Reach, and Halo 4, which is a lot of content, to be frank. The earlier ones are a little less player-friendly as the newer ones. Like Halo 3's campaign and on are kind of a lot friendlier on the easier settings. Halo Infinite is a little different as it adds some open-world elements to the gameplay, but as a soft reboot to the franchise, it's also a really easy game to start with. It probably has the most modern feel. To it and pretty good to get your feet wet. In regards to multiplayer, Infinite's probably also the better game to start with as a beginner because it's a much more condensed experience. You're not learning as much. There's a lot of players, the matchmaking is good, so it's not hard to jump into a game either. Like a big deterrent in, frankly, a lot of not current multiplayer games is just getting into games. So for FPS beginners, I probably wouldn't recommend the multiplayer anyway right from the start. But if that's what interests you, Halo is, again, a little less twitchy than other FPS games, and that especially goes for consoles. At number 9, the best game to start playing third-person action games. This one took a lot of deliberation, but the God of War reboot from 2018, we think, pretty much does it. There's a lot to talk about here, though, because the action genre is probably one of the widest out there. There's a ton of games and not a lot of consistency between them. Like, there's Assassin's Creed Odyssey, Bayonetta, Saints Row 4, Devil May Cry, Sekiro probably goes into this genre. And I could go on with a lot of different games, but just those demonstrate exactly how different games can be in this genre. So it's a little difficult to find a place to start. However, an easy recommendation, for me at least, is God of War from 2018. It's sort of a reboot, and it's easy to get into if you haven't played any of the previous games. The combat is intuitive, it's very fun. The camera angle keeps things close, and it does not get too chaotic or noisy. In general, the fights are a little slower compared to a lot of other action games out there, and that makes it easier for newer players to adapt. Another great feature is that the game doesn't force you to play on a certain difficulty setting to earn achievements, so as a beginner, if you want to go after the difficult challenges like fighting the super boss Valkyries, you can just turn down difficulty and you don't get punished for it. The entire God of War series is honestly really good for beginners. Even the classic PS2 games still play really good today, and they're easy to get into if you're not used to action games even. They're accessible and a lot of fun. At number 8, the racing genre. Probably the best game we think to play in terms of that is Forza Horizon 5. Probably really cool because the king of all racing games right now is also the easiest one to get into. The Forza Horizon games just overall have less technical controls, a huge variety of different events, and really extensive difficulty adjustment settings. There's so much you can do to adjust the difficulty of these games, it's almost a little overwhelming. But if you're starting out, the default difficulty is also just a good jumping off point. That's the magic of these games, especially the newest one. If there's something you're struggling with or just don't like to do, you can just go do something else. There's going to be at least a few things you'll enjoy here, and there's going to be a lot of those things. There's really no denying that these games are dense. They throw a lot at you at the start, but if you're just starting out, probably the easiest thing to do is ignore all that stuff. Just focus on finding what's fun for you, because Forza Horizon 5 is just this beautiful game that cruising around itself is a good time, and there's something that if you're interested in racing games, you will find and enjoy in this game. There's so many good racing games out today, but if you're new to these games, I'd steer clear of simulation racers because those are dense on a level that Forza Horizon 5 doesn't even approach. Not that it doesn't have a lot of depth, but it's accessible, and I think anybody interested in racing can have a good time with something in it. At number 7, RPGs or JRPGs. So, again, this is a very diverse genre. Pool of games to pick from, very wide, very deep. There are so many different games and so many different expectations, but we're going to do the more traditional split, the Western RPG and the JRPG, the Japanese RPG. For Western games, probably Mass Effect Legendary Edition. It's a really good collection of some of the most fun and easy to play RPGs out there. Probably a great thing about Mass Effect is how focused the whole everything is in terms of RPGs. Instead of each game having a sprawling 100-hour plus campaign, they pretty much all clock in in between 20 and 30 hours. Unless you really get into some side stuff, you can take more time if you want. But in terms of gameplay, these games are not as mechanically complex as a lot of RPGs out there. And if you wanted to make the level up decisions for you, yeah, there's even options to let the game decide how the story comes out if you're not interested in that. For most people, I think the choose your own adventure aspect is kind of the bigger draws, but if you just want to shoot stuff and level up characters, the option's there. Now, if you want to get into Japanese developed RPGs, probably no better place to start than Dragon Quest XI. It's kind of the pinnacle of old school RPG design, but built for the modern era. Everything is polished. It's got a nice mirror sheen to it. Combat, about as classic as it gets. It's all turn-based, just like the first game way back on the NES, but obviously with the sort of modern-day improvements like auto battle and some actual tactical decisions to make. For a JRPG, everything's intuitive, the story's charming, the gameplay is never too difficult. So while it is a long game, it's also perfect for people who want to try out a JRPG, but don't want to deal with some of the frustrations that the more classic games, have. At number 6, the best game to start playing platformers. I mean, if you've never played a platformer before, it probably doesn't get any more intuitive than Super Mario Odyssey. Like, there's a lot of absolutely essential platformers out there. Super Mario World, Sonic 2, 3, Sonic and Knuckles, Shovel Knight, Crash Bandicoot, the list goes on. A lot of these games can be kind of tough to get into as someone new to video games, though, because they all have their little specificities that make them something different. But Super Mario Odyssey is probably perfect for someone who wants to get into platforming for the first time. The controls are just super smooth. They don't get a lot more smooth and intuitive than Mario. Especially after Mario 64. But Mario's movement powers don't get much better than this game. And the real reason this game's so great for new players, though, is how open it is. Each level is a sandbox that lets you do pretty much whatever you want, and they're not a lot in terms of limitation. So if you're struggling with one activity, you can just wander away and do something else. The main collectible of the game, the Power Moons, they're basically everywhere, and you only need a fraction of them to beat the game. So it's rare that the game really forces you or railroads you into stuff. It's also one of the most joyful and silly games of all time. But most of all, it's just fun to play. And just to be frank, it's one of those games that has learned something from almost every notable platforming game in the last 30 years. So whatever direction it is that you end up taking from Super Mario Odyssey, it can probably lead you down a path to any of those titles we mentioned earlier. At number 5, the stealth genre. Probably the best game to start playing a stealth game is, of course, Ghost of Tsushima. Now, this is a genre that can be very frustrating and unforgiving if you're not accustomed to the conventions of the genre, but a game that does a really good job easing players into stealth gameplay is Ghost of Tsushima. Now, it's not even primarily a stealth game at first. Slowly, as the game progresses, you unlock new abilities that make stealth easier and more effective, and eventually, stealth is all you need to clear out a base. The way the game slowly expands the stealth mechanics really makes it stand out to me as kind of the most new player-friendly stealth game. The main character, Jin, is learning stealth as the player is learning stealth. Instead of throwing you into the deep end like you're a stealth badass and you should know everything about stealth because you're going to stealth your way into this stealth situation, it assumes the thing that a new player is going to do is hack away at enemies. And it's all right, how do we go from that to incredible stealth badass? Another positive is that if you get caught, it's not the end of the world. Instead of being a chump, Jin is as deadly in a sword fight. So if you're seen, the game just continues to be entertaining. Ghost of Tsushima's stealth mechanics aren't super deep or anything, and the enemy AI can be super forgiving, but that's kind of what makes it such a good place to start for people who want to try that genre. And number 4, the best game to start playing survival simulators is probably Subnautica. By their very nature, survival simulators can be pretty unforgiving. That's sort of built into the gameplay loop. You're supposed to try to survive. But not all of them are quite so brutal. If you're looking for one that's a little more intuitive and easy to get into, Subnautica is probably what to try. The game's a little more fun and satisfying than a lot of survival games out there, but if the underwater setting gives you the creeps, that's probably going to be a problem. For me, I found the game really entertaining, though. The story gives you a strong motivation to explore, the base building's pretty straightforward, and the world is just all around fantastic. The main thing that keeps this one so player-friendly is just how polished everything is. Like, the menus are a common chore in a lot of survival games, but this one, they're streamlined and they make it so much easier to do the things that you want to do. There's only 3 major meters you have to worry about. There's hunger and thirst, which are quickly solved, and then there's oxygen, which, I mean, that's probably what's going to cause a little bit of trouble. In my experience, the progression's very smooth, very satisfying. But if you don't want to deal with all that stuff, there's just also creative mode. It's another game that lets players adjust it to be as difficult as they want, which is perfect for anyone just wanting to try out survival. And number 3 is the best game to start playing fighting games, which we're going to recommend Mortal Kombat 11 for. The fighting game genre is notoriously difficult to get into, but more and more we're seeing games that at least attempt to bridge the gap between the hardcore fans and the casual players. There's a lot of great indie fighters out there with great tutorials and simplified controls, but if I had to pick just one game in the genre that's best for new players, I'd go with Mortal Kombat 11. Regardless
afraid? Or do you not even have the courage to be afraid? Is it my turn now? With these rising flames!
Be sanctified.
Fallen leaves, adorn my night!
Now that's more like it. With the
I will
fall
have
of
order.
darkness, destruction shall
Illusion
rise.
shattered!
Bow your head.
Have a taste of purgatory.
One with nature.
Stabilize.
The wind knows me.
Is it my turn?
There is no escape! Now you shall perish! Ha!
Solidify.
Like a fly tangled in a web.
The tides beckon.
With these rising flames.
Gather.
Spare your energy. Running is of little use.
One with nature. Clouds high. The birds call.
Settle down. Stabilize. Order guide you.
My blade is
Shine
all that
down.
remains.
Silence. Gather.
Torn to oblivion!
Settle down. Let the mighty be humble.
Suntown is only the beginning.
Stabilize.
Illusion shattered!
Fallen leaves, adorn my night!
Solidify. Silence. This is order.
There is no escape! Inazuma shines eternal! Ha!
This rep. If you ever have it.
Illusion shattered!
Settle down!
As one with wind and cloud!
The tides beckon.
The wind knows me.
Shine down!
Bow your head.
I follow the wind. Yeah.
Coffee is life.
Time to go.
Gather! I will have order! Settle down!
Wind Strider! Clouds high! The birds call!
Let the mighty be humbled!
I see the value in my own work, but I also see the meaning in all the endeavors of the Water comes in many flavors to the discern.
I won't hold you back. Much.
Regardless of if you're going to go online or just want to beat up some AI opponents, there's a lot to do in MK11. The extensive tutorial system is really good for learning the ropes. There's a large player base if you're looking to go online, and the skill ceiling isn't as high as a lot of other popular fighters. With MK11, you don't worry about stances, hundreds of different moves, or complex motions that they're confusing. Charge attacks, pretzel motions, stuff like that. All the actual fighting game moves are easy to input, and combos are rarely requiring of the actual kind of precision a lot of other fighters do. Compared to a lot of other games on this list, there's still a lot to learn in this game. It is a fighting game after all, and it is a complex genre. You're probably going to get destroyed the first few times you go online too, but compared to almost every other popular fighting game out there, it's just so much easier to get into MK11. At number 2, the best game to start playing the Soulsborne genre. We're actually going to recommend Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. Now, like fighting games, the Soulsborne genre, or subgenre, whatever you really want to consider it, is almost exclusively dominated by hardcore players. It doesn't have to be the case, though. While Dark Souls games can be confusing and kind of difficult all the times, not every game in the genre. We're actually going to recommend Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. Now, like fighting games, the Soulsborne genre, or subgenre, whatever you really want to consider it, is almost exclusively dominated by hardcore players. It doesn't have to be the case, though. While Dark Souls games can be confusing and kind of difficult at times, not every game in the genre is so unforgiving. For players who want to get into that experience without having to prepare to die every few steps, there are a few alternatives. My personal favorite is Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. It's a game that's got all the hallmarks of the genre, but with a major difference, an actual difficulty selection. All the staples of the genre are here. There's a healing item that has limited uses, you recharge it at camps, death sends you back with a chunk of your experience gone, and the combat is pretty deadly. What makes it a little more forgiving, though, is that you don't lose everything when you die, and you've only got one weapon, which makes it more difficult to find yourself with a terrible build that's not working. Also, the overall story is possible to follow, which is oddly an innovation in this genre. It's actually a kind of strange mix of Uncharted and Dark Souls that somehow works despite being how incompatible those two games seem. Some people might recommend Elden Ring as a good starter Soulsborne, but if you want a game that has all the hallmarks of the genre without being a huge pain in the ass, Jedi Fallen Order is just a fantastic place to start. And finally, at number 1, the best game to start playing survival horror is probably Soma. Now, this is going to be a highly subjective one because it really depends on what a person is looking for in a horror game, but pretty much the great all-around pick for someone who wants to start getting into these games is Soma. It's not too mechanically demanding, it's mostly intuitive when it comes to puzzles, and while the game can be pretty tense, the scares aren't overwhelming for first-time players. What really makes this game great is the story and presentation. Soma's story is haunting in a way that few games like at all. all, not just in the genre, are able to manage, and it's worth playing just for the story alone. There are real horror elements here too, but it's not smoke and mirrors like a lot of games. There are enemies that want to kill you, but the game mechanics make it so even if you do get caught, you don't lose just an absolute ton of progress. If getting haunted by robotic monstrosities is too much to you, there's also Soma's safe mode, which lets you explore the game without the risk of dying at all. For a horror experience, Soma remains probably one of the best in the genre and a perfect place to start for somebody looking to get into these games. And that's going to be all for today. Your opinion is, of course, valued here. This is a subjective list, so please leave us a comment. Let us know what you think. If you like this video, click like. If you're not subscribed, now is a good time to do so. We upload brand new videos every day of the week. Best way to see them first is, of course, a subscription, so click subscribe. Don't forget to enable notifications, and as always, we thank you very much for watching this video. I'm Falcon. You can follow me on Twitter at Falcon the Hero. We'll see you next time right here on Game Ranks.
From amassing 2.9 million subscribers